Hello everyone, Truthful here. As of recent, and when I mean recent, I mean 2 hours ago as of recording, a YouTuber named Cumin made a video on Nullscape, which if I'm going to be completely honest, has quite a bit of points which definitely aren't the best. Before I argue about some of these points though, let's start off with the obvious. Don't harass this guy. I'm pretty sure this is common sense, but just because I personally disagree with opinions that this person has, does not mean that people should have the right to attack or be rude to this person. With that out of the way, let's get straight to seeing Cumin's criticism, shall we?
To start, this game is definitely not made for solo play. I'm mainly saying this because in this game, if you make a single mistake, you die. Miss a jump, die. Raise a mine, die. Telefragger spawns on top of you, die.
Hey, starting off strong. Now, I completely agree with this. One thing I personally dislike about Nullscape is single player. I usually don't really find myself playing in solos and even duos ever, due to just it being so boring, and just like how he stated, it can be really unforgiving with enemies being perma-aggro just on you, and just one death costing the run, unlike Party and especially Party Plus lobbies.
Second gripe with the game is that currency gain is a bit slow. Like I said, I played for 8 to 9 hours for this video and I only bought one new class and a set of animations for my character. Like, I get that you want people to play longer, but I personally would have bumped up the base currency gain by at least 10 or 15%.
I personally don't really mind the current trip coin gain. Now obviously I've played much more than Cumin has, so I have way more trip coins. However, something to note in case you didn't know, is that you get more trip coins the more gifts you collect in a floor. This means in later ways, you collect more gifts and get more trip coins. This might be why you as a new player, so you struggle in trip coin gain, because you die more due to learning mechanics, especially leading to early deaths, meaning you get less money.
The ICBM is, well, an ICBM that bombs the area you're in. To counter it, hold W. The Springer stomps a spot, creating a shockwave. To counter it, dodge the stomp and jump over the shockwave. You know, pretty basic stuff. However, some of these enemies make no sense at a first glance, like Kelowna. Your ability to remove Kelowna off your screen, but if it counts past that number, you die. It's easy in hindsight, but I had no idea what it was when I first found it.
I would agree with this, however, you get an enemy description whenever you hover over an enemy with your mouse that quite literally just tells you what to do.
Also, for some of these enemies, I still don't know how they work, like the Voidbreaker Knight. The description mentioned it spawning swords around you before stabbing you with them. I thought it was like the Roaring Knight from Deltarune, where you have to move perpendicular to the swords to dodge them. But sometimes I see the sword go right through me without me dying. So what is it then?
Yeah, you know when I mentioned that you get an enemy description whenever you hover over an enemy? Well, forget all of that, because Voidbreaker has a very vague description, so I completely understand why you're confused. In short, Voidbreaker only kills you if you're directly facing the sword, or not moving. This means even if your back is facing the sword's direction, you aren't facing it, so you will not die, just like what happened in your clip. Overall though, this is kind of an issue on some descriptions for enemies being vague or harder to understand, which is completely fair. I understand the confusion, which is why I don't really blame you too much.
Top 3 most BS enemies to die in order of increasing nonsensicality. Number 3 is the stupid Guardian! It's a floating head, and all it does is shoot a volley of projectiles at you. Nothing too crazy, but the only times I ever died to this guy is when I can't see him. Like, I personally fixed this by having at least a sound cue for the player he's currently aiming at.
Well, that's the thing. It does. It has multiple indicators. For example, here's Guardian. Basically, every time Guardian shifts around to target another person, they will play a specific cue. If you hear this cue, it's advised you look around to make sure if it's going for you, or if it's near you. Now, if you do miss that cue, Guardian also has another cue, for right when it's about to shoot. Yet again, another warning sign that you should be aware of on how to deal with Guardian. Hey, it's okay though. He only makes the cue for one enemy. Surely he doesn't complain about another enemy that has literal ambience, right?
First of all, sound cue for when a husk spawns on you. If there is one, it's most definitely not distinct enough. Second of all, better colors for the husk. I should not have to squint my eyes to see the instant kill man who will instantly kill you if you graze him.
Now I think the main reason why these sound cue issues are happening is because Cumin likely either has their music a little too loud, or they just straight up miss the cues. Because Husk does in fact have a cue for, yet again, spawning, and also has ambience that plays when you're near it. And for good measure, here's footage of me replicating this in game. Oh yeah, and for us blending in, you can quite literally just change your gamma, just so it's way more visible. It's really not that bad, considering Husk is a pretty bright purple, and with pretty high brightness, you'll basically see them. Well, with that out the way, it's alright. They are a new player, so sometimes people make mistakes and miss things. He does not complain about missing a Q on an enemy that has 2 Qs once again anyway, so... Oh, who am I kidding?
Is the Telefragger. His whole gimmick is that it randomly teleports in front of you.
Alright, I had a part of the script where I was going to do the exact same thing as Husk, but I don't want to copy what I did, so let me just put this really quickly. It does not randomly teleport to you. As you can see earlier, you were just glowing, and that's a clear indicator that a Telefragger is targeting you just now.
With a sound cue when it's targeting you. Once again, if there is a sound cue, it's not distinct enough. Editor's note, there is a sound, but for some reason, it's just as loud when the sound is on someone else than when the sound is on you. Like, it's almost impossible to tell the difference when the Telefragger is targeting you compared to when it's on someone halfway across the map. None of the other enemies have this issue.
Well, luckily, I just gave you a way to figure out when the Telefragger is targeting you specifically. You can thank me later.
The last gripe with the game has to do with the actual difficulty settings. In Nullscape, there are 3 options for difficulty. There's casual, standard, and for those who hate themselves, extreme. I mostly played casual for 2 main reasons. There's the fact that your starting movement is way better than in standard mode. Second reason is that there's no trip mines. This game is generally more fun to play without trip mines.
Honestly, this is another take that I really agree with. And unlike what you say later on, you are not in the minority who likes casual more than standard in terms of enjoyment. The main thing is trip mines. Although I personally think trip mines are overhated because they add more gameplay other than turning off your brain and collecting gifts, that does not mean I do not find them annoying. So I completely understand your outlook. Even I agree that casual is way more fun. With that said though, that's where the points end and where this video wraps up. I think most of these mistakes came just from not having enough experience and not noticing specific things that a person like me, that has a lot more playtime, listens for whenever dealing with specific enemies. Other than that though, I don't really hate this video, nor do I hate Cumin. I actually watch this guy's content quite a lot and usually enjoy it. It's just that this video didn't exactly feel as well compared to the others. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Don't harass random strangers on the internet, and I'll see you later.